Problem 74 is, a raft is made of 10 logs lashed together. Each is 33 centimeters in diameter and has a length of 6.1 meters. How many people can the raft hold before they start getting their feet wet, assuming the average person has a mass of 70 kilograms? Do not neglect the weight of the logs. Assume the specific gravity of wood is 0.60. We must start off by writing net force equals mass times acceleration. We can write this equation out as force of buoyancy minus force of the weight of the people minus force of the weight of the raft equals mass times acceleration. Since acceleration is going to be 0 and mass times 0 has to be 0, we now have the equation as force of buoyancy minus force of the weight of the people minus force of the weight of the raft equals 0. The force of buoyancy equals rho GV. The force of the weight of the people and the force of the weight of the raft equals mg. M equals mass, rho equals density, g equals acceleration of gravity, and v equals volume. We can then use this to expand the equation as rho gv minus m weight of the people g minus m weight of the raft g equals 0. Next, I added an x into the equation, which will serve as a variable for the amount of people who can fit on the raft. Since m equals rho times v, I was also able to expand the equation to rho of water gv raft minus x m people times g minus v raft rho wood g equals 0. All of this information is given to us in the problem, and we can use it to solve for certain variables. The density of water, or rho water, is always 1,000. And since Sg is given in the equation as 0.60 and rho water is 1,000, we can use this to solve for the density of wood, which ends up being 600. The units for density is kilograms divided by meters cubed. The volume of a cylinder, or a log in this case, is the area of the circular part times the length of the whole thing. Now, to find the area of the circle, we need to use the equation pi r squared. Now r is radius, and 0.33 is given to us in the equation as the diameter. If we multiply that by 0.5, we get the radius. So 0.5 times 0.33 squared times pi is going to equal the area of that circular part. Now we multiply this by 6.1 because that is the length of the whole thing, which ends up being the volume of 1 log. Now we multiply that by 10 because there are 10 logs to make up the whole raft. The volume of the raft ends up being 5.22 meters cubed. The average person mass is given to us as 70 kilograms, which is m people, and g is always 9.8 meters per second squared. After solving for all the variables, I went back and manipulated the equation so we can solve for x. I then plugged in all of these variables into the equation and was able to get x equals 29.8. Now our answer can't really be 29.8 because you can't have 0.8 of a person, so we must make it 29. Once a 30th person is added to the raft, it would begin to sink. Therefore, 29 people can be on the raft without getting their feet wet.